Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. We're looking at a puzzle called Killer Whispers today by David Storrs. And it's a German whisper puzzle with an extra twist of some line totals, which we haven't seen, killer lines perhaps, for a while. But that's always good fun. I'm going to look forward to having a go at this. And I'm going to tell you a bit about what's going on the channel because, first of all, we have got the new Spider-Man Sudoku out on Patreon. You don't need, I saw somebody on Discord asking, do I need to have watched the movies? No, you absolutely don't. And indeed, a lot of the plots are given within the spoilers within the document, which you don't have to read. So that's all available on Patreon. There's 8 tough Sudoku, well, not that tough, but 8 medium Sudokus, I believe, that you can have a go at there. And if you can solve them all and get to the final instruction and crack that, then you can enter the competition to win a collaboration with Simon to do a solve with him on a video like Meryl Jansen did a couple of weeks ago. And very well she did too. So do have a look at that. It's great fun, and we look forward to hearing what you think of it. It's jolly good. Join us on Patreon for crossword videos and connections and gridogram and any other puzzle types we put out there, which happen occasionally. It's always a very interesting look, and I don't know that you could necessarily class us as puzzle experts, but there's a lot of puzzles there and it's great fun. Now, there's also, of course, our apps, and they feature some brilliant puzzles. We do have a line Sudoku app which features a number of German whisper puzzles, I can assure you. And there's also, of course, the classic Sudoku 2 and the Worms, including Blobz's latest worm, the eclectic Sudoku worm. That's great fun. We've got merchandise as well. And of course, all the extras that go on the channel streaming on Monday nights. Yes, indeed, they're upcoming. And we go to the Blueprints house for the last year now and stream our playing of a game from there. There's a cerebral puzzle challenge. Oh, by the way, if you do like streaming type content, we're, I think, in the middle of a 48-hour Twitch stream in aid of Sven, the marvelous IT guru who has created the software we use and you know, to some extent looks after the puzzle community generally. He's a wonder, and I like that there's support for him. So just look that up on Twitch. Yeah, it's a 48-hour continuous stream. So phenomenal effort by various people. We were contacted, I think, by Manta Ray, but as well as him, there's some great names, other great names involved. So do check that out if you're interested. Now, let's have a look at the rules of Killer Whispers by David Storrs. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Adjacent digits on a green line, so digits that are literally connected on a green line, have to have a difference of at least 5. And we also have some totals. Now, these might be a little hard to see on mobile. I literally couldn't find a way of rendering them better, I'm afraid. So hopefully you can tell what they are. There's a 22, an 88, an 18, and a 23. And these totals are the sums of the digits on their lines. So those 4 cells will add up to 18, for instance. And we've seen this killer lines once or twice lately, but not with a German whisper line, I think. So killer whispers today. Right, those are the rules. I don't know how difficult this is. You can check the video length. I can't do that. I'm going to give it a go and see how we get on. Let's get cracking. So, well, I mean, the shape of this is very demonstrative, very indicative. I'm trying to avoid the word suspicious. There's nothing suspicious about the shape here, but there is a... Okay, I am going to start, the first 5 minutes of the video are going to be explaining things we know about German whispers and things we know about the shape I've highlighted on the grid, the Phistomefel ring. And they are fascinating things. So the whispers first, digits that are connected on a green line can't include a 5. So you can't put a 5 on a green line because there's no Sudoku digit that can go next to it. Now, the corollary to that is that the digits on the line alternate between high and low, and then high and then low, and then high and then low. Now, we don't know quite which cells are which yet, but they have to keep that alternation to maintain the difference of 5 between high and low digits effectively. Now, I'm calling high the digits 6, 7, 8, 9, and low the digits 1, 2, 3, 4. But 4 and 6 are a little difficult. There are places that you can't put 4 and 6 in this puzzle, and they would include all of these cells that I'm highlighting, because I might have missed one. There's one. There might be others, but 4 and 6, 4 for instance, can only go in a cell where 9 can be its neighbour, and that's fine for some green line cells like that one. But here you would need 9 to be the neighbour in at least those two, and indeed even in that. So you couldn't put a 4 there. So those are the restrictions on what we call monogamous digits. They only have one possible partner. Now, that was the German whisper stuff. What I'm now going to do is a bit of set theory for you to explain the properties of the Phistomefel ring. You may know this already. You can jump forward if you do. Well, you've probably already jumped forward if you did. So let's colour these pink. And those 4 columns, obviously each column is a set of the digits 1 to 9. That's the rule of Sudoku. So that's 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. Now I'm going to find a different 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. Each of these 2 rows, which I'm colouring yellow, are a set of the digits 1 to 9, because that's the rule about a row. And each of these 2 boxes are another set of the digits 1 to 9. So both in yellow and in pink, I have used 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. 36 digits, 4 of which are 1s, 4 of which are 2s, etc. Now, if I remove the digits that are common to both sets within the diagram, and that's these 20 digits, I am left with 16 digits in yellow and 16 digits in pink. Because I've removed exactly the same 16 digits when I did that from one set and from the other set, the groups I am left with must be exactly the same digits out of those original groups of 4 sets of 1 to 9. Now, we could have 4 of the same digit. There's no problem with that. But I must have exact equivalents of digits in yellow as in pink. And that is a very weird property. If you start by telling somebody, oh, this area within any Sudoku puzzle contains exactly the same digits as these, they're baffled. They go, well, why would that be? And you've just heard the explanation. Simon has done it on a number file video, as well as on probably up to 100 of our past Sudoku videos. So you may well have heard it before. I've done it a few times as well. Anyway, now we will get on with the puzzle. I'm not 100% sure that we're going to need that theory, but it may be very valuable, particularly given the shape of this central ring and the fact that all those boxes are filled with green lines. I mean, for instance, none of them will contain a 5. But anyway, I explain it to begin with when I'm confident we'll be using it. That's about where we are for this one. I'm not certain, but I'm confident. Right, how do we begin? I mean, we could pencil mark 5s in boxes. Yeah, look, we can pencil mark 5 in this box, and we're going to get this windmill effect. The 5's going to go around the vanes of a windmill. Now it can't go in those cells, and it must go there. Now it can't go in those cells, it can never go on a cell with a green line in it, so it must go there. Now it can't go in those cells, and now we've found an actual 5 in the grid in box 7. Now that's going to put it in one of those two. In boxes 2, 6 and 8, and indeed box 5, we know rather less about 5, so I'm not going to pencil mark it. And I'm not sure that this is really going to help our endeavours, but nonetheless it's a start. And I'm going to alternate colours along this line. So let's do red and yellow this time for a good bit of contrast. I don't know whether red is high or low, but it's one of them, and yellow is the other. Now, I am now going to consider what I haven't normally got available in a German Whispers puzzle, which is these totals. So I'm going to start looking at this box. Now we've seen 2x2 German Whisper boxes before, and what I can tell you about those, and I did mention this actually earlier, I highlighted those as cells where 4 and 6 can't go, but I'll just explain that a tiny bit more thoroughly. If you were to try and put a 4 there, both of these digits would have to be a 9, because that's the only neighbour 4 can have, and they're in the same box. So 4 and 6 cannot go on this, and 5 obviously can't. So the digits are selected from 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Now, if I add up all of those 6 digits, I get 30. I can do that quite quickly because I can see that the outsides 9 and 1 add up to 10. The digits just inside those also add up to 10, and the 7 and 3 also add up to 10. So it's 3 lots of 10, it's 30. And I'm going to have to deduct 8 to get to the 22. Now, not only is I think there only one way of deducting 2 digits that make 8, but you also know you're going to have to take out a high digit and a low digit, because there are 2 highs and 2 lows on this little 2x2. And that means 7 and 1 are not there. And this box must contain 2, 3, 8, 9. Obviously, the low digits will alternate on one side and the high digits on the other. You know, I don't know which is which yet. But can we take that information down to the 23 line? 23 actually is a higher number. And I thought we'd just used the maximum digits here. And I see that we didn't. What we used is the maximum digits if you weren't allowed a monogamous digit. I.e., when I put the candidates onto this 2x2 box, remember I left out 4 and 6 because every cell on the box has 2 neighbours. That is actually not true here, and that's why we've got a degree more freedom. Actually, we've got, in a way, 2 degrees more freedom. This could actually contain a 4 and a 6, not in those cells, but in these 2. However, a 4 and a 6 would leave us needing 13 in the other 2, and one of those digits would have to be low. That is not going to be what we're going to do. So let's take 2, 3, 8, 9. Obviously 8, 9 are the maximum high digits. 2, 3 are not quite the maximum low digits, but they're close to it. We have to therefore, to get from 22 as a total to 23, we have to add 1. We can't add 1 to the 2 or we'd repeat 3. So we're going to have to add 1 to the 3. And this is going to be a 2, 4, 8, 9 2x2 area. I was going to use box, but because the shape doesn't close, it's not quite a box maybe. Anyway, 4 can't be on those cells. 4 is going to be on one of these cells. It's going to be here, and it's going to be touching a 9 in the cell next to it. So one of these 2 is a 9, and 9's not in that pair. And actually, one of these 2 is low, because the 9 must then touch a low digit in this pair. So we can remove 8. That is a 9-2 pair. This is a 4-8 pair. I don't need any corner marks. And now I can look, using that 2-9, I can look up top and get rid of 2 and 9 out of those cells. That's a 3-8 pair. This is a 2-9 pair. And 2 and 9, I'm going to carry forward. And I'm not just going to carry 2 and 9 forward. I'm also going to carry 8 forward. So what I'm asking you is, where did 2, 8 and 9 go in this column? Obviously they don't go in box 1, where they've already effectively appeared within that 2x2. Obviously they don't go in box 7 because they've already appeared there. And I'm talking about the column 3 cells for box 1 and box 7. Therefore, all of 2, 8, 9 have to go in this group of coloured cells, and now we know the polarity. That's the difference between high and low. Because 2 of these digits, 2, 8 and 9, are high, and we have 2 yellow cells, so that must be an 8, 9 pair, and this digit in the middle is a 2. And what we've learnt from that is that red is always low, and I'm going to recolour it blue, our typical low colour. I'm going to recolour yellow into orange, our typical high colour, and we've got a start on the Phistomefel ring. Now, I'm not going to get involved in adding up 88 yet, because that's quite a big number, and you don't want to sit here and see me trying to tot a large total in my head. What I'm going to do instead is think about the 4th total we've got, which is this arrow-looking thing here. That adds up to 18. Now, the pattern on this is not the same checkerboard as here, and indeed this will be a checkerboard as well. I'm not colouring it because I don't know how to relate it to either green and pink or blue and orange yet. So I am going to colour this one so you can understand what I'm seeing here. This digit, let's call that colour yellow now, because we've got that back. That, no, not that digit. Let's start with this digit on the point of the arrow. That is connected to all 3 of these, so they're all the opposite polarity to that one. If that's low, these are all high, and vice versa. So, can they all be high? And yeah, they can actually. No, they can't. If they were high, the minimum sum that they would have is 6, 7, 8. That adds up to 21. Plus at least a 1 here. You've got a total sum of 22 for this area if grey is high. So it isn't. It's low. I'm a bit surprised. It didn't feel for me like you could get to 18 using 3 low digits. Well, you couldn't if you used 1, 2, 3. But if you use the maximum low digits, 2, 3 and 4, that's 9. Plus you need another 9, so that's what we're going to have to do. That is the maximum digits in each genre. So that is a 2, 3, 4 triple. 2 sees that cell. This is a 9 in the centre of the puzzle. I don't know what that does for us. We do also have the same sort of pattern, obviously, going on these arrows. So I've now learnt which cell to colour. Let's make that red and yellow, and this one violet and light blue. So that is a different polarity to those. Now, we do also know about these digits that they can't be, obviously they can't be 4 or 6, but they can't even be 3 or 7 because they've got 3 neighbours that all see each other. It's a very talkative little crescent. So these are selected from 1, 2, 8 or 9. And now I'm beginning to think about the ring. Doesn't the ring have more colours of one than the other? Remember that the ring is the same 16 digits as are in the corner boxes. This ring has, oh no it doesn't, it has 8 of each colour. Okay, well, I know that we've got 2 and 2 here. I know that we've got 2 and 2 here. Therefore, these 2 2x2 boxes have to balance in terms of the number of cells that are one colour and are the other. So actually, I could recolour this one, and that must be right. The yellow here will equate to the same highness or lowness polarity as yellow there, and the same for red. So, this pair, I don't know which either of them are. This little German whisper nobble doesn't connect with anything else. But I do know that for every pair, you've got 1 high and 1 low. So this is a sort of domino. And it's going to use the 4th blue in the row. Obviously, every row, column and box is going to contain 4 low digits, 4 high digits, and the number 5. So in this row, we've had the number 5. Now we've sort of had the 4 blues. And this must be orange. Then I can alternate on this line and learn which are low and which are high on it. I'm going to take out those colours because they might confuse me. No, that's really helpful actually. I'm going to leave them in for a second. We've had one blue in this box and another one here. Don't know which cell it's in, but another of them is blue. And that means that if red turned out to be blue, we'd have got 5 of them in the box, which is not allowed. So red becomes orange, yellow becomes blue, and I've managed to assign some colours. Now I'm taking out that pair again, although I am noting that we're going to use the 4th orange in the box now in one of those cells, and therefore these two, one of them's a 5, that's just going to stay white, but the other one is blue, and that's going to be the 4th blue in the column, and both of these are going to have to be orange. These are going to be one orange. Oh yeah, we'd used up a lot of blue up here. That was the easy box to start with. I didn't see that. We've used up one orange and a 5 here. This is going to be a domino, one of each. That's going to be an... That's 2 of each. This is going to be 1 of each. That's the 4th blue. These are going to include an orange. And that's not helpful because that's going to leave us with a domino of 1 orange and 1 blue down here. Right, now, it's all just theory and waffle at the moment. Let's try and get... We've done some numbers, I suppose, let's be honest. Well, that was thanks to the cage totals, or they're not cage totals, the line totals. Okay, now I need to do some serious thinking. And the orange cells around the ring, they cannot possibly ever be the number 6, even though they're high, because every one of them has got 2 neighbours in the same row or column. And that means that using my Phistomefel ring theory, any digit that is high that appears in these Phistomefel boxes, which are the same 16 digits as appear in the ring, any high digit is 7, 8 or 9. And that means this group of cells is 7, 8 and 9. And this is low, and that didn't actually help me decide what this digit was. This is high, so that's 8 or 9. Any of these could be 4. I don't know. Right, let's then, what do we do next? This one is 1 or 3 because it sees a 2 and it's got 2 neighbours that see each other. This digit can't be 4 or 2 because they're on this bit of the box. So that's 1 or 3. This one sees 2 and 3 in the corner, so that's 1 or 4. Can it be 4? Yes, because both of those can be 9, I believe. One of these is high, and that is an 8 or a 9. And along with that pair, that's going to use up the 7, 8 and 9 for the row, which feels a bit strange. Maybe not. Now there is going to be a 4 in the Phistomefel ring because there's a 4 in this box, and that's one of the areas that's equivalent to cells on the ring. That 4 cannot be in this cell or this cell because they have 2 neighbours. In fact, I'm going to mark them up as 1, 2 or 3. But it's going to therefore be on a corner somewhere. There might be another 4 if we have one up here. And then 4 would be in 2 different corners, which would have to be there and there. Now there's no... well, there's the rule about how much this ring adds up to. I still don't... Oh no, of course, I can use the Phistomefel box theory. Oh, of course. I mean, this was obvious to you because you're smart. To me, not so much. That ring totals 88. That's what we're told this line adds up to. But we know that's the same 16 digits as these ones. So, the ones on the left are 22 and 23. That adds up to 45. We subtract that from 88. And we're left with these two highlighted areas, and they must add up to 43. Now, we know the orange digits down here are 24. So everything else adds up to 19. 19. And if this was a 9 and this was a 2, these would add up to 8. If that was an 8 and this was a 1, these would add up to 10. And they don't do that because they're all low digits and they must contain 2, 3, and 4. I'm just wondering if I can definitively state that 4 is in use here. So what I'm claiming now is that these digits add up to 19. Do we need to use a 4? If we used 3, 2, 1 and a 2, that would be 8, and this would have to add to it, this would have to be 11. So we are going to use 4 in one of these cells, and therefore we now know this digit is a 9. Because when 4 appears there, it's got to be on a line connecting to a 9. Now that being a 9 makes this 2. We can fill in these digits, and then I could convert back to the normal colours. Doesn't really matter, but that 9 is also placing 9 down in box 9. And that 9 is putting a 2 here, and now we can follow this whisper around. We've got to have the high digits in the northwest and southeast and the low digits in the other corners. And we're getting lots of digits in the grid. I think the maths dictated that 3 was in the game as well. Let me do it again. So 22, 45, we've got another 43 in these groups. In the high digits now, we know the exact total, it's 33. 24 and 9 is 33. So these 4 low digits add up to 10. If we didn't use a 3 up here, we could use 4, 2, 1. That would only be 7, and the maximum here would be 2. That's 9. That doesn't get us there. So we are going to use a 3. And then we're going to use either a 1 or a 2 in that group and the other one here. Well, that's exactly what we're going to use. This is either going to be 4, 3, 1 with that being a 2, or this is going to be 4, 3, 2 with that being a 1 to get the total correct. Now, what I hadn't realised, and what is very important, is that we're now going to get 2 4s on the Phistomefel ring. One from this box and one from this box. And that means that this is not a 4. Well, it's not a 4 because 4 is placed there in the box. The 2 places to put 4s are here in these northwest and southeast corners. And those digits on the ring are always going to be flanked by the number 9. So I can take 9 out of the other cells around the ring. This digit, is that correct marking up? I said it couldn't be 7. Yes, this was related to 8 and 8 being positioned there. That's an 8. No, it doesn't get me anything else. This one sees 9 and 8, but it's high, so that's 6 or 7. This one, to meet 6 or 7 on the line, it's going to have to be really quite low, 1 or 2. It can't be a 2, so that's a 1. This is also going to be 6 or 7 in this box, actually. And the digit, the digit on this line that is high is not 9, 8 or 7. This has been available for ages. So that's a 6, 1 pair. Now, I don't know that 6 can't go here. If those were both 1s, it looks like it could. What I do know is that that 6, 1 pair is looking at this cell and making it a 3. And then at this one to make it a 2. And how many 3s are we getting in the boxes? We've already established there's going to be exactly 2 of them. And we've placed 1 in the ring. All that tells me, well, one of those 2 digits is a 3. It's not this one because we've had a 3 in its box. So one of these 2 digits is a 3 and must be sitting next to the number 8. Oh, in fact, this 3 must be sitting next to the number 8. 3 and 7 don't go together. They're bad bedfellows. So 1 and 6 there puts a 7 here. The 1 and 6 also puts a 2 in the corner, and the maths of the 88 that we did on the Phistomefel boxes rather than the ring tells me that this group adds up to 8 and is 1, 3, 4. This digit is a 2. This is a 3, 5 pair to fill the box. What I could do at this stage is calculate the sum of the ring, or measure the digits specifically in the boxes against the digits in the ring. But what I'm actually going to do is use Sudoku. 3 and 5 are looking at that cell. That's a 1. These digits are from 6, 7, 8. One of them is a 6. Actually, 1 and 2 don't decide what this is. But remember, we were going to put 2 3s on the Phistomefel ring. We've only got 1 so far. So here's the other. That's sitting next to 8. How many 8s are we going to put on the ring? 1, 2, 3. We've got them already. So this is not an 8. That's a 7 because of the 7 down here that we're putting on the ring. In fact, I've just seen that that 8 is looking across at this pair and letting us fill them in. 7 and 8 there. This is a 7. And now I bet you this adds up to 88. And just to prove it, I'm going to do it in my head, or by highlighting pairs that add to 10. 10, 20, 30, 40. 50 with the 3 and the 7. Then the other low digits are 11. That's 61. And, oh, this is not good. Oh, it is good. It is good. I was going to add that digit because it's, I don't know, because it's another 9. But I've got 3 9s to add to 61. They're 27. That's 88. That's what we were told to add up to. And all the work we've done using the Phistomefel ring, etc., has proved correct. So that 7 takes 7 out of these cells. In fact, I can fill in 6 and 8 now. This pair is a 5, 7 pair, which can be filled in. I'm going to get rid of the colour in the grid now because it has very much done its job. Bye-bye. Now, let's just keep going. This is a 1, 6 pair to complete the row. This is a 5, 7 pair to complete the box. This is a 1, 6 pair to complete the column. This digit is still not known. This is interesting. This is hanging out waiting to be solved, and its high digit is going to be 6 or 7 because 9 and 8 have been used in the box. So its low digit is going to be 1 or 2 to go next to that. I don't know the answer. Let's look in the central box maybe. 9, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look, 2 and 3 are looking at that digit, so we can actually complete all these. Now we've still got a 7 to put in the central box in one of those 2 cells because of this, an 8 in one of those 2 cells because of this, and then 1, 5, and 6. Now, if there's 8 in one of those 2 digits, we know where the 8 goes in row 5. It's here. 7, 8, oh, 2 there means that the low digit up here is a 1. That can't be a 6 by Sudoku. So there's a 1 in use here. That doesn't resolve anything. This row, we need a 3 in it. That's in one of these 2 cells. Well, it cannot be here actually, because whether that's 1 or 6, 3 is too close a digit to sit there. So that's 3. We need a 5 in this box, and it can't be on a green line, so we've found that. Then one of these 2 is a 5, along with 7. This group is a 1, 8, 6 triple. Actually, we know exactly where the 8 goes. I think I did bad pencil marking. It goes there. Flanked by a 1, 6. Now we've got a 1, 6, 7 triple. In fact, we know that 1 is on the line. It's the low digit on the line. So this one is 6. That's going to leave us with 1, 7 on the line and 4, 5 down at the bottom of the column. That 5, 7 pair gives us a 1 here. We've got a 2, 4 to put in this column. We can't put them in that box. Let's put them up the top. and then 3, 6 down here. And this pair includes a 7 and a 1, so we can fill in the 7 based on this. Then, having got the 1, we can do 1, 6, and 6, 3, and 3, 5. And now I get to discover the 5 that was sitting there the whole time, trying to disambiguate it and getting ignored by me. Right, this digit is not 5 or 7. It's a naked single. It sees those in the row, those in the column. It's a 6. That sorts out our German whisper. That gives us our last, not quite our last whisper digit in the puzzle. We've still got those to go. 3 and 4 in the final column. We can fill those in. We've had 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light losing its religion. So now we are just finishing off the puzzle. It's very nice. It's got a great flow. It's very well set up, and David has done a super job. 4, 5 here. We've got 6 and 3 to go. Then 2 and 3 down. No, 2 and 4 down here. 7 and 5, and that's the solution to Killer Whispers. Super solve. I mean, well, a super puzzle is what I mean. I've enjoyed the solve. That's what I'm trying to say. And you will enjoy the solve if you try Blobz's Worm or one of our apps, or the Spider-Man Sudoku treasure hunt. Give it a Sudoku hunt. Give it a go on Patreon. We'd love to have you there. And you can leave a comment on Discord if you want when you've done it. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.